Hello everybody. This is the A70, Samsung A70 screen replacement. As you can see, that is the new screen that we're going to use on the left. It's attached with the frame already, which is going to make it a lot easier. The part only costs probably like $5 or $6 to get it with the frame than to not get it with the frame. Then you're going to have to do a bunch of gluing, and it's just going to be more difficult for the average person that doesn't have repair experience to do. So before I begin with this whole repair, I'm going to start a new series on my channel called Everyday Repairs. It's going to be less, I don't know how to say the word. I'm not going to edit it. I'm not going to edit as much. And that's going to allow me to put out more videos because I put out way too few videos. I mean, lately I've been making like one video every 3 weeks or even a month. I got to be putting out multiple videos a week. So I believe this will allow me to do it by doing it this way. Okay. All right. So with the A70, as you can see, the back cover is made out of plastic. For those of you guys that have been stuck around for my channel, as you guys see, I fix pretty much and show all the high-end phones like the Samsung Galaxy S series, like the S9, 10, 20, S10 Pluses, the Samsung Note phones. They all have, the back of them is all made out of glass. So this one, you don't have to worry about it breaking, right? Because it's obviously it's made out of plastic. It would have already broken. So as you can see, this thing is almost taken off, and it's just held on by tape. So then now what we're going to do is I got to take a bunch of these screws out. And they're all the same size. And I don't know how many of them are, but if you see a screw, just take it out. All the same size, just bunch them up together, it doesn't matter. As we're almost finished here on the bottom. So then what we'll do next after this last remaining screw is taken out, we're going to get a tool and put it, basically that plastic piece right here. See, there's a SIM tray. I got to take that out first as well, along with these screws. Otherwise, the back plastic won't come out. You'll have trouble with it. I was looking how to take this. Actually, you know what? This was the very first time I've ever repaired this phone. I was recording it. So I've never done an A70 before, but this is the first time. But as you can see, what this phone is different. There's all these clips on the side. And that's how the back plastic comes off. I get that tool that I have in my right hand, and everything is clipping. Clips just like that. And I also think that this phone is not water resistant anyways. I think only the high-end phones are water resistant. And by the way, for those of you guys that are wondering, the screen on the left, or the new screen with the frame, cost me $50. I'm charging $125 in my store. Okay, so here we got the back plastic off that you can see, and I believe I took off the front selfie camera, and I'm figuring what to do next, which is to just unplug whatever you see, right? So I'm trying to lift the motherboard out, and then I see that there's one single screw that's holding down the motherboard. A little black screw right there. And then finally I can lift the motherboard out. And then that little wire comes out. There's a screen connection on the bottom. There is the fingerprint scanner. And there's 2 screws there. Take those out. And then lift the fingerprint scanner out. And then you can start to lift out the charging port area, but I was kind of having trouble with it. So what I decided, because I knew that there was probably a bunch of sticky adhesive under it, so I grabbed the heat gun and I started blowing heat on the outside of the phone, and I noticed that there was a screen protector on the phone. Obviously it didn't help it from not breaking, but anyway, so I blew heat on that side, and then now this charging port kind of comes out easier. It just kind of pops out like that. And then that wire comes out. And then basically what we're going to do is just transfer from whatever you see on the left side to the right side. And then you have all these kind of like that. There's like little sticky stuff, adhesive underneath that little plastic blue stuff that I was taking off. So what we're going to do next, I believe, is we're going to take out the ear speaker that we have here right on the top. And then what I'm going to do is blow heat. I blow heat on both sides, on the right on the part and then on the other side. Blowing heat on the ear speaker, it won't hurt it. And then I grab when I take ear speakers out, since the razor blade, it's super thin, that helps me get under it. And then so I can see if it's coming out a certain way that I want it to. And then so I just grabbed the ear speaker, and the ear speaker actually came out with a little plastic kind of thing around it, and then which allowed me to fit it into the new screen like that. So now it's the vibration motor. Taken out this pretty much the same way as the ear speaker, except this time I believe I grabbed those tweezers and I just pluck it out. And there's adhesive under it. And then I'm kind of straightening out the adhesive that's underneath the vibration motor. And then to make sure that stuff doesn't fall out, I kind of put the phone upside down, or the screen upside down. So then this is probably I don't know, maybe one of the most difficult things to do on this repair is taking the battery out. So what I do is I use alcohol, isopropyl, I don't know how to say it. It's 91%. I buy it at Ralph's, right? Or you can buy it on eBay too. I pour alcohol around the battery and I start lifting up on one of the sides gently. I don't want to bend the battery. Don't bend the battery. Try your best not to bend the battery. Otherwise, later down the road, it's going to start to expand, or the battery, it'll lose like its longevity, I think. So I'm gently prying up. I'm using force actually too, but I'm just not using enough force, and I'm being patient. That's the key. Just be patient. And I can see now that I got my tool under there. And then I grab like a gift card, because the gift card bends, right? Because I already got my opening now. And then so I'll use the card. So I'm still kind of struggling with it a little bit. I'm not really struggling. I'm just taking, like I said, I'm using patience. And then I use more alcohol to get underneath the battery, because the alcohol eats up the adhesive. And then now I can finally get that tool under there. And then as you can see, the battery's out. I didn't bend the battery at all. And I'm just drying the bottom of the battery. And I got some on the table here. So as you can see, the screen on the left, pretty much everything is already done. We're done with the screen on the left. Now I'm just going to focus on the new screen. We're going to put the motherboard back in with the wire on the right side, and then the charging port right down there. And then I swung the wire around the the screen cable right there. I fit the wire right in its little grooves. And then I'm getting the fingerprint scanner, plugging that in. And then to go along with the 2 screws, and then we're gonna put this the one single little black screw that's in there. I was figuring I forgot like which screw hole went in, so this is a good way to make sure that you're putting it in the right screw hole. And then I saw that, yeah, I can see through that one hole right there that there was no screw underneath it, so I put it in the right spot. So then this is the front selfie camera right there. Make sure that it's in good, that it's fully connected in. You don't want stuff to be partially unplugged. Just making sure that it's all plugged in. And remember, you guys, this was my first time, just to repeat, this is my first time ever fixing this phone. So, and then I was going to plug in the battery, and I was actually going to test the screen. And then I saw, like, at this point, I was like, why do I need to test the screen when the phone's almost all put back together? So then I took that plastic piece back out. And then I unplugged the battery. And then I started plugging this cable back in. But then I remembered that there was no adhesive underneath the battery anymore. So I took that plug out, took the battery back out. And then I needed to cut some adhesive strips. So the reason is you cut adhesive strips because you don't want the battery to be flopping around, right? And then, you know, you don't want any like comebacks or the customer saying, what does this sound, you know? So the adhesive sticks the battery down so it doesn't jiggle around inside. So I got my 2 adhesive strips, and then I'm just going to peel off the top layer of it. So it's just the sticky stuff that's left, right? And then I'm going to plug in the battery. I had to scoot up the battery because it just wasn't, the slack on the battery to plug it into the motherboard just wasn't, I had to keep pushing it further up and up. So then I finally saw that I got the battery into the right place, and then I'm plugging in this cable right here that connects the charging port, the top motherboard and the bottom board down there. And I'm making sure, because like once again, I don't want comebacks, right? I don't want people to come back saying that something's partially unplugged. So I make sure that the connections are in. So I see everything's nice and plugged in. So now it's time to put this plastic piece back on, and everything clips back into place, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is put all the screws back in, and I'm going to speed this up for a little bit. Remember, all the screws, they're all the same size. Doesn't matter they get scrambled up or not. Just wherever there's a screw hole, put the screws in. There's probably like 12 or 15 of them. And we're just about almost done with the screw holes, or putting the screws back. So then we put the SIM tray back in. As you can see, the phone's already on now. Take that little plastic wrapper off. Test the screen a little bit. It works perfectly fine. And then as you can see, all we have to do now is put the back plastic back on. So you see all that old adhesive isn't sticky anymore. So we're gonna have to put new adhesive, and I blow heat on that adhesive to help peel it off. So I remove all the old adhesive, and I'm gonna use since this phone doesn't really have like pre-cut adhesive like the high-end Samsung Galaxy phones, you got to just cut your own adhesive. So I use my red tape that I use. It's super strong. It's stronger than that black tape that you see on eBay or everywhere else. It's like a red tape, and then after you take off the top layer, that red part of it, it's clear, but it's super strong. Okay, so now we got all the adhesive cut out all around the sides in like a big rectangle shape, and then a little bit on the side of where like the camera thing is, right? And then we put the back cover back on. And then we're pretty much almost done. Or the actual phone is done. So once again, this is going to be the first video of the series. I'm pretty sure I'll get better at this, but this is just my first one. It's just going to be called Everyday Repairs. My store is open 6 days a week. Whenever I'm there, I'm repairing phones. This is going to be the next one that I'm going to do. My next video right here. I already recorded it. So that one's the Samsung Note 10 Plus. And then this one's going to be a Samsung Note 9. So these are going to be in order. These are going to be the phones that we're going to do next. And that's it, you guys. For those of you guys that are interested, I do have a cell phone repair course. The course teaches you everything how to start a business and make money repairing phones. All right, thank you guys for watching. Peace.